Do you have a model for when you're using Gen AI for your developments, like a three-step model or something like this?
Right now, I'm working with a ton of clients in different industries and being able to take core concepts and translate them into specific scenarios or job challenges or adopt the language and terminology. It's very powerful for being able to create where it feels like I'm talking to them as an individual organization as opposed to just this generic thing.
One thing that you will notice here is that there's one thing in common in all the steps is the human in the loop. When we talk about AI, there's always a conversation about the technology and it can do this and that. And where does that leave humans? Is it a threat for us? And the answer is no, it's an augmentation. As you can see in every single one of these steps, there is human input needed as well as AI processing power involved as well.
What we're looking at here in terms of today's business challenge. So what we're asking is to design a change plan. So beyond just learning collateral, we want to be able to transform the organization or make changes throughout the organization that improve employee engagement through manager feedback.
I think this is a really, really important process in the 3 steps, because what Carrie needs to do is not just listen to what the business wants, but also craft what she thinks the business actually needs. This is the human element, and there's you can go to all sorts of different directions, but this is that consultating component, the consultant piece, internal, external, doesn't matter. That could be barriers, could be accelerators, et cetera. And so that's why Carrie's role is so important at this point, because you don't want to solve the wrong problem, because AI will take you in a different route. Yeah. You want to make sure you're solving the right problem.
So what we want to do is we want to develop a program, right? We're going to go through and identify what type of OCM program are we going to develop? What are some of the items that we can present? So we can go through and present manager feedback documentation. We can do employee feedback documentation. We can do all kind of different job aids. We can go through and utilize all of these great tools. Are we going to talk about Notebook LM? Absolutely. What we're looking at is what are our tools available for us? We are not promoting any of these tools. We are saying we are using all of the AI tools that are available to us at the time. So one of the things that I'm always questioning is what makes a great prompt? From the ChatGPT definition, we want to go through and use that clarity prompt. So you notice how they start out with clarity also. Then we want to go through and do context. Who is the audience? So the audience is going to be managers, employees. What vibe or tone? So for the tone, we're always looking at, do we want professional? Do we want enthusiastic? Do we want legal? So there's all kind of different vibes and tones that you want to apply. And then what everyone forgets when they're creating these chat prompts is, what do you want to exclude?
As the internal client, this would be really interesting to me to know this process. And I'm curious if you would consider bringing them in through this process rather than taking some guesses to see if you're getting to the right place and then go back and validate it. Or is it worth having a workshop together to say, this is the thing I'm going to do, and this is the process that I'm going through, kind of iterate this together.
I asked what seems like an obvious question there is like, what is the solution? Because I'm failing to connect the dots of this strategy of what we're doing to a problem that we're solving. And that's one of the most common, frankly, big mistakes that I'm seeing in AI implementation right now, is just assuming that AI is the answer. And assuming that AI tools are the answer. And a lot of businesses are actually experiencing pain from that, because it's the same challenge that we already experience consulting as regular humans without AI. And that's missing that window to find out what the actual problem is and then tailor the solution to it.
As an organizational psychologist and a student of motivation, I'm always thinking about the why. And that's what I put in this methodology we have. We call it 5 good questions. And it starts out with, what is the purpose of it? Why would we do this?
I would also need, in addition to your showing me some of the collateral that you can create and how beneficial it is, I need to know what and why all of that exists. How are we going to roll it out? What's the purpose of it? Who's the audience for each piece? What does each of those it's amazing to have a lot of options, but what's the point of it?